Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to my channel, Spirit to Dowsey. I'm Dowsey LeMay. Thanks for joining me here on another Sunday Spiritual Chat, November 15th, 2020. Hopefully all you beautiful souls out there are doing okay. And thank you for joining me wherever you are in the world. I appreciate it. So a few messages for us this week. I know that for myself, as I've been dealing with this week, small things have been kind of popping up. Little old patterns that are showing up that aren't hugely triggering, but at least have gotten me to get some emotional, energetic charge out of it. So what I would say for many of you guys is to sit with that energy, sit in meditation or stillness and inquire about these little things that have been popping up this week, especially if it's showing up in your relationships, right? Your relationships are a great way to get mirrored back some of the things that you're holding on to. And like I said in my November energy update, is that through conflict, through interaction and two forces coming together, you are going to be able to create an experience that's going to draw some of these darker densities without you. So get in a meditative state and try to sit with that energy, right? No matter how small or minute they may be, the likelihood is that that energy is trying to show you something about yourself. And if it's showing you something about yourself and it occurred in your reality, the likelihood is that you are in a vibrational accordance to that. And somewhere else, most likely from what my experience is and what I have talked with many people, is that it doesn't just show up in this one-off place. It shows up everywhere else in your life. So if you sit back and look at that energy, that experience, whether it be an emotional experience about feeling angry, or maybe you felt hurt, maybe you felt betrayed, maybe you felt like you weren't being treated fairly, etc. Whatever it may be, the likelihood of that energy is playing out everywhere else in your life. It patterns everywhere in your life. So take a 360 degree. And if you look at that one experience that you most recently have, take a look at what emotionally came out of that, and you will find that relationship everywhere else in your life, right? So this is definitely a time highlighted by what's happening energetically in the new moon in Scorpio, which is highlighting self-inquiry, that's highlighting you going inward, the planets that are in retrograde, and the energy that is coming about. It's certainly pushing some of these aspects out of you, and it really requires you to sit with that energy and to look at it, right? Another thing that I want to bring up that I received from my guides or higher being or spirit over this week was dealing with the idea that we are moving through a very pinnacle point in our human collective experience, right? We are moving through what I would say a pinnacle point that is going to be throwing us into a direction that we have all been desiring. So individually and collectively, I think humanity has itself been wanting to find a way to find more peace, love, happiness, balance, how to live in harmony with this planet, etc. More life, more prosperity, more abundance, more joy, etc. That energetic has already been placed out there, and we are just moving through this in a physical lagging perspective. Now, there are many different timelines, and we're always constantly shifting our timeline based on the collective sum of humanity, but our own individual vibration at any given moment shifts us around on those timelines. But the likelihood and the probability is that humanity is moving towards a higher timeline, one that is probably more characterized by love, abundance, joy, peace, unity, compassion. Yet we're just walking through those steps. Now, it is thrust upon us to, as creators, to decide how long that's going to take for us collectively and individually. So what I want to say as a message is that we can focus our energy, we can focus our time into the idea of the deconstructive, negative, polarized energy, right? And that allows you to focus on the chaos, that allows you to focus on stress, that allows you to be diseased, disharmonious, etc. And that timeline, may not be for your highest good, but it certainly offers service to those who are willing to go down that road. I just think there's a higher timeline, a more constructive use of that energy, which is focusing on the things that you desire, that you would like to embody, that you wish that this world would be like. So imagine and embody that energy of which you think humanity could abide by, one that is more around love, compassion, and unity. We have to be truly mindful about our perspective, though, because what I find is that there's a lot of contradiction happening, right? There's a lot of I would say dual energy that's being played out. Many of you guys are asking for equality, love, and compassion, right? But in the same energy, in the same step, in the same side of the coin in which you are embodying, you are also rejecting, judging somebody else for their perspective. How can you have equality and power, love and compassion if you yourself don't have love, compassion for what other people hold as their own identity, right? There's a mismatch and that energy doesn't work out. So for a lot of us, maybe it is because of our family dynamics, right? Maybe it has to do with old traumatic traumas that are coming out that are really requiring us to find that rainbow love that we need for ourselves, to heal that energy, to look at the energetics that have been playing out this past week, to the emotions that are popping up, to find love for that in ourselves so that we can then forgive what has happened or forgive others that hold different opinions, who are creators, who are divine beings having their own experience. And through that own process, through that own healing, we build ourselves up stronger and we can embody more of this higher energy and higher light for us to move forward towards that probability that I was talking about. So be more constructive with that energy, but utilize this time to really go inward, to heal yourself, to find the love for yourself and the things that you've done that you had to play out in your family dynamic, so that you can become someone stronger, more loving, more compassionate, that allows you to embody and hold more of that light as we move forward towards that probability of higher timelines. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about before I talk about the energy of the week is that we are seeing spikes in cases, right? So many of the collective is holding on to fear, and that energetic vibration is kind of like still holding its teeth in the human collective, right? My thoughts on this is that the old energetics, the old guard right now is fighting tooth and nail. It's having its last fight with its last breath to keep us lower vibration. In that perspective, the health part of it is really being highlighted with spikes in cases here. What I want to bring about is two things. Number one is we have to remember the placebo effect, the sugar pill. In a lot of the pharmaceutical trials, what you find is that when people are given the sugar pill or the placebo in the control groups, it's not uncommon for at high percentages, 70 or even up to 80, 90% here, that people show signs of success or healing through this sugar pill, of which they thought was designed for a certain thing. So what does that tell you as a creator, as an energetic being? It's that you could take a sugar pill and based on your beliefs, based on what you think that is, you are essentially creating that reality through your energetics and your beliefs of being healed. I want you to take that mindset and understand this. You are more powerful than you can ever imagine. You are more powerful and in control about your health than you have ever been told. And so as we are moving through these time periods of which this virus, if you will, is being highlighted, and fear is going to rule the day, it is thrust upon you to remember as a creator that you have so much more power over your health than you have been told. So one of the ways I think that could be extremely beneficial for many of you guys is to embody in meditation, if you can, a time period in your life, recall in your memory, when you felt the absolute best that you've ever had. I want you to remember that. I want you to recall that like you're living it right now, when you felt the youngest, when you felt the healthiest, when you felt the best, and relive the things that you did during that time and bring that into the now period. Bring that into the now moment. And in that now moment, when you're embodying that energy, I want you to remember that energy. I want you to energetically keep that within your body and take action out of that energy, because that is going to tell your body, I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to be young. And my body is able to be protected and can fight anything that that is thrown at me, from a cold virus, a COVID virus, whatever. You are able to defend it through your immunity, and you are strong enough to do that. And your body remembers what it's like to be healthy, and that's what you're trying to tell your body to do. Another thing you could do is utilize the energy of green light, right? Color is utilizing the vibration of sound and light. When you use green, which is heart and love, compassion, that energetic, that sound and light sends a vibration through your body at a higher vibration of love that helps you transcend certain illnesses and pains, or helps you protect yourself from feeling or becoming a match for illnesses or dis-ease or disharmonious energetics that could cause your physical body to show you the symptoms of what you're holding on to. So just something I want you to keep in mind as you move along through the rest of this week and into in the rest of the month. So hopefully those things help you. As I always like to do is the energy for the week. What you're going to get is something basically exactly what I highlighted, right? What we're dealing with is we got all these outside pressures, all these outside fears, all these attachments of which are hanging over your head. And what you need to do is hold a way to find strong balance within yourself. This is very much about an inward perspective this week for many of us in the collective, and many of you guys watching this video. You're going to have all these outside pressures, all these outside attachments of which we are dealing with, that are going to be pushing upon us. But for you as a creator, it is going to be extremely beneficial and extremely important for us to hold the mental fortitude, to hold the emotional competency, to hold the energetic boundary of not taking it all in, and for you to be inward with all the things that are happening. It's through the inward aspect of you that you're going to be able to understand what are the things that are popping up, what emotions are playing out, what are you feeling, what mental things are coming up, so that you don't get ping-ponged all over the world, that you are a steady energetic field that can hold its own without taking on the world's problem. This is something that's going to be truly important for us. So for many of us, if you're not in that space, if you're getting ping-ponged around all these different things, that's where you're going to find dis-ease and disharmony within your physical vessel. That's where you become a match to illnesses, to colds, to viruses, to flus, etc. Right? So it is thrust upon all of us to take the time and be in the inner space this week, right? Look at your shadows, look at the inner workings of what you are doing to create your reality, right? Another aspect, what is going to bring about a lot more healing, is very much so in the idea of keeping you, I would say, in a space of, imagine like having the sun, right? You know what, the last time you were sitting on a beach and you were in the sun and you were just laying on the beach? I want you to remember that feeling, because that's the type of feeling, that's the type of energy that you want to be playing around with this week as we go forward. That's going to keep you out from feeling sick. That's going to keep you out from feeling stagnated. That's going to keep you out from feeling all the pressures of the world, right? It is thrust upon you to hold those visualizations, to hold this energy, to hold this healthy, vibrant, sunshine, positive, young, immune, strong type of vibrant energy within you this week, so that you can move through this time in an easier fashion, one that is more centered and more peaceful and more healthy, especially as things are getting more thrown onto us. So just be mindful if you are on the other side of that scope, where you're feeling all the pressures and you're feeling dis-ease and disharmonious, and what you're doing now doesn't feel like it's doing any good for you. It's time for you to stop. It's time for you to let go of these things and go inward to look at the inner workings and saying, why am I being triggered? Why is this causing such a pattern in my life? How do I heal these things? And a lot of what I already talked about is going to be the inward journey, looking at your attachments, looking at what's popping up, allowing yourself to love the family dynamics that you've been playing out with, so that you can forgive and move on and become the stronger person and help us shift the timeline towards a more positive nature. Now, the thing that we all are going to be working with, especially this this month and this week is always going to be around the heart chakra. Now remember, the heart chakra is the color green. If you remember the primary colors, which is blue and yellow, make the color green. Understand that it's not just your heart chakra that you're going to be playing with. You're most likely going to be dealing with your throat and your solar plexus as well. The combination of the three, is really around the heart center. So having the love, compassion, and the ability to look at yourself is going to offer that love, compassion, so that you can look at what's truth for you, what you want to communicate, the wisdom, as well as your solar plexus, which is around the power center. The combination of those three things, if you aren't in balance, you may have issues, right? Sore throat, coughing, congestions in the throat. Maybe you're having stomach issues. So be mindful of your physical body this week, especially around the heart and the throat and the solar plexus, because that's all showing you things about yourself that you aren't allowing to come up. And that's why this week's really about the inward journey, sitting with yourself, getting away from the outside pressures so that you can make yourself that sound, balanced, healed space that can heal and integrate your traumas and everything, so that you can hold that space and allow humanity as well as your individual reality to move forward in a more compassionate and loving space. So I hope that helps you. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the week. I love you. Feel free to reach out to me, and please do follow me or subscribe on my YouTube or Facebook at Spiritual Dowsey. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.